Talk TV. It's Friday. We finally have Tanya back to talk movies. Okay, Rhino, is that a current movie?
Yes, it's actually sitting at number 1 in the box office.
F1.
No, sadly.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Okay.
How to Train Your Dragon.
There you
Oh,
go.
so that was, we were just talking about that, so I would have thought, well, I wasn't sure how it would fit into F1, but also, so How You Train Your Dragon is number 1. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I still have not seen it, but that's on my schedule for this weekend.
Well, I've heard from friends and family or friends who have been, who saw Lilo and Stitch and raved about it, and then they went and took their family to see How to Train Your Dragon, and they said there are some scary moments, but that it's better than Lilo and Stitch. So I think maybe better in terms of it, more of the family would, if you have gaps in ages of children, everybody will kind of like it, versus where Lilo and Stitch was kind of geared more towards younger kids.
Yeah.
Even though your older ones, if they had affection for the movie prior, would have an affection for it now, but it's not the same.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know. That's my review of it. But I hadn't seen it either. It's on our to-do list.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. There's just too much. I need to, I wish that watching movies was my full-time job. A lot of people think it is, but it's not. Because there's so much great stuff out.
You know what's cute, though? Real quick, my little one, 5, she wants to go see it, and she told her daddy, because I just really need to know how to do that. So the name of it, How to Train a Dragon, she thinks, well, we're going to go, and they're going to teach me how to train a dragon. I was like, that's not how that works, but it's sweet that you think that.
I know. That's very sweet. But yeah, so this weekend is a big box office weekend, or will be. And it is officially the beginning of the summer blockbuster. This weekend we've got 2. The first one is Megan 2.0. You know, this is the creepy doll that looks like a little girl. And it is being released in theaters. I'm sure eventually it'll be on Peacock like the first one was. But the first one was such a success, they're going to put it in theaters and, get that money. But this one... to me, Megan does not look as realistic in this one as she did in the first one. The upgrade. But I've not seen it yet, but it is not getting very good reviews. So we'll see. I will definitely be watching it, though.
I've seen the previews and my whole family, no.
Well, the first one, it took me a while to see it because that's not my thing. I've already got a situation with scary dolls anyway. And so I finally watched it. I streamed it at home on Peacock on a Sunday afternoon when it was broad daylight. My kids were close by, so I felt okay about it. But even then, I was scared to death, and they say this one's even scarier. So, but the big movie this weekend is F1. This is the Brad Pitt movie, which, I was thinking when I was getting ready to watch it, I haven't seen Brad Pitt much lately. He's really gotten into the behind-the-scenes stuff. He produced this one, but it was good to see him on screen. And this is just a story of Formula One racing. And let me tell you, I know zip about Formula One racing. And I learned a lot from watching this movie. So I tell you that if you're not an F1 fan, don't let that keep you from going to see this. This is a fantastic movie. Today it got the Critics' Choice Seal of Distinction, and those aren't handed out every day. But while I was watching it, it made me think of like the great 80s movies like Top Gun. It's like you've got this great action and an awesome soundtrack to get back at. And it's really good. The only negative thing I can say about it, it's 2.5 hours.
Oh.
Not that that's a bad thing because it goes by really fast, but you got to plan because there's no good time to take a bathroom break. So don't get the big drink before you walk in. But Brad Pitt plays a guy who was going to be the next big Formula One star back in the 90s. Unfortunately, he suffers a really devastating crash, and that kind of derails that career path for him. So he's just living his life. He's living in a van, literally, driving around, doing little oddball races here and there to make money. And then a friend from his past who he was successful with approaches him about coming and joining his F1 team because his company's in danger. They've got a rookie driver and they need a veteran on the team to kind of help them figure out what needs to happen with this car that they're using and try to win some races and save this company. And he reluctantly agrees to do it. And it's like, it does remind me a lot of Top Gun in the sense that you've got the teamwork, but you've also got those internal rivalries going on. But, I mean, I cannot say anything negative about this. I thought Brad was great. When you're watching it, you feel like you are in the race car. I mean, it's incredible. Now, I saw it on just a regular screen. It is filmed for IMAX, and I'm regretting not seeing it in IMAX. I'll probably will see it again because I enjoyed it that much. And next time I think I'll see it in IMAX because I can't imagine what it's like in that setting because I felt like I was there. I felt like I know how to drive a car now.
Do we have a lot of IMAXs in Mississippi?
We do have one in Jackson or Madison. I know there's one on the coast, but other than that, I'm not sure. So you might have to travel just a little bit to get to
that's
one.
Something that you care, yeah.
Yeah, if that's what you want to see it at. It does cost, a couple extra bucks, but I think it's worth it for sure. But yeah, I mean, this is really, it's PG-13, just a couple of F words. And that's sad that I say that. Just a couple of F words, but nothing.
PG-13 these days can be,
Yeah.
We're on to you on that.
But
They used to just get one PG-13.
Yes, that's what I thought. And I heard the first one, and then I got a second. I was like, ooh, they've increased the limit from 1 to 2. But yeah, it's great. And it's like edge of your seat. Parts of it are kind of predictable, but there's some twists and turns. The cast is fantastic. The guy that they cast as his rival is fantastic. Or he's like the rookie on the team. His name is Damson Idris. I felt like he kind of stole some of the spotlight. But it's really good. Definitely worth your time.
Is there anything else that's still hanging in there, or?
Well, of course, you've got How to Train Your Dragon is out there, and then Lilo and Stitch is still hanging in there. Mission Impossible is still hanging in there. Oh yeah, and so I forgot to mention the director, producer, and everything of F1 is also the folks that behind Top Gun. So that's probably why I'm feeling some of the same vibes. Karate Kid is still hanging in there.
So my husband and daughter, oldest, went to see that because had shared that we had watched the original one night just as a family, and it was perfect timing for that. She really enjoyed it. She thought it was a great movie. She was sad I didn't go. She was like, when it comes out on streaming, she would want to watch it again. So she's 12, 13. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think though, for her, I don't know if she would have liked it as much if she didn't have the freshness of the original, like in her brain. But I don't know. But they thoroughly enjoyed watching that together.
Yeah, I think it does seem kind of like a family fun movie, like the original one was back in the day. So I'm glad to see it's doing well, and I'm glad to see that series has just. It never goes away.
It's a good story.
Yeah, it is. You always like to see the underdog come out on top.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned, too, there was another Pixar maybe not doing so well.
Oh, yeah, Elio. I'm ashamed to say I don't even know how to pronounce it because I know so little about this one. But it actually
cute.
Came in number 3, but that was its first week, which is very unusual for a Disney Pixar movie. But I just think it's gotten buried. I don't know that it's a bad movie. I just think there's too much competition right now.
Well, you've got families that are going to see Stitch, and then families are going to see How You Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, there's just too much. And then next weekend we've got Jurassic World Rebirth, and word on the street is this is bringing Jurassic Park back. Not that it ever left, but the last few movies maybe weren't as loved as the first few. So
what I'm going to say is going to sound so strange considering it's Jurassic Park, but the trailers that I have seen, it looks less believable than any of the other ones. I know, again, but I feel because each one has had like that monster whatever. Like you have the original Jurassic Park, which just had your original dinosaurs, right? I mean, and then it's like each one, at least in Jurassic World, they create this whatever, and I just am worried that maybe everything's supersized.
Yeah, where they're saying this one is like focusing on, like in the past we've seen all the dinosaurs that were successful, in their experiments or whatever. This one's focused on the ones that
misfits.
weren't. Yeah. So it's like the Island of Misfits from The Year Without a Santa
But
Claus.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will too. It'll be good. And then the next weekend we've got Superman. So lots coming this month.
Lots coming. All right. Well, you guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up.